To get it to record? Yeah, there you go.
Recording, and then
Switch that. Busy's good.
As of now, no. Now he's still just pleased to
Bill, we got a retirement? Do I have a retirement? Not anytime soon. You're my role model, Bill. Come on.
Number 5.
We're going to go up to Jasper. Ellen says that we did. That's exactly right. Yeah, what a memory. Yes, we did. We never made it up there.
Well, it's easy to remember that I was there too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We went to New Orleans last year.
2 years and 50 years a lawyer. And I always get a little skin or something. I thought about that. 50 years is really more a sign of failure than success.
Yeah. End of July.
Yeah. So you pay for the band for Jasper, National Marble Ice, as you drive, and go through Bluetooth, and you're.
You filming today, Mike?
I'm filming.
Hey, sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you at STEM the other day.
No, that's fine. I was I was totally in and just dropped in to see who was left and then had to get back out of there again. So, yeah, no problem.
Felt like I neglected you.
Not at all.
Making appointments to talk with
Sure.
everybody there, and then I was like, there's Mike.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I wasn't there very long.
I wasn't.
And you were busy, so it's all good. All
Boy,
good.
that program's so good. I didn't mention it in my remarks if you were there for that.
I was not.
One thing that I am a little cautious of is they've sort of gone away, although our group was pretty good, homogeneous, but I'm starting to see when I go down to the
up for organized programs and helps all students.
All students. Yeah.
So I see that as, oh, we've got to emphasize this group, we've got to emphasize that group.
Yeah.
I need that.
The thing with the diversity thing, though, is a lot of our kids as parents don't speak English as a first language, and so some of it is you got to concentrate on making sure they get the information, right? Opening eyes. So that's kind of that. But no, I get it. We leave money on it. I think we leave money on the table all the time through that program.
Well, we had 56.
That's great.
From 2014 zero because we didn't exist.
Yep.
And
Michelle Judson's a dynamo. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And Aaron and Jenna and Hanson brought the idea to me first, and I'm a skeptic by nature, but okay, we'll see.
Right.
That was my speech. I said, by the way, the best thing I did was stay the hell out of the way of smart people who want to make this happen.
It's just such a good thing. That's one of the really good things is that, it's tangible.
Are these our guests today?
Let's be the guest.
What's on the program?
I do not know. But thanks, Steve. Yeah, thanks for touching base.
I see you got voluntold to help out.
Fallen, yeah. No problem. Thanks.
We're going to start a couple minutes late and let our speakers.
Okay.
had a good idea off of this, but here we go. Bow our heads and let us pray. Some folks do it every day. We give thanks to the gods that in this world, despite the odds, we landed here in Skagit County, a place chock full of people's bounty. Was it luck or just a divine plan that plopped us here and not Iran? Some of you will find it odd that I don't place my trust in God. Instead of biblical compliance, I put my trust in fact and science. Still, we must learn to love our brother as if we had a common mother. Though our thoughts and themes will still collide, we should unite and not divide. We really need to help each other. And the Golden Rule gives us a plan for treating every girl and man. I see our planet warming faster by the acts of man, and not the master. Did God out there create pollution? And will she impose the last solution? Is it her will to grab and send our world to its fresh end? No, though some of us, or some of you may not relate, try that again, though some of you might not relate, man must fix our sorry state. Was Earth created, master plan, in ways that we just don't understand? We may pause to wonder how, why, or how, but I, for one, decline to love.
All right, how about a flag statement?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And before we pass,
This is the truth. It is fair to all concerned. Will build goodwill, better friendships, and will be beneficial to all concerned.
and we have Canadian guests today. So guess what, Canadians? Oh, Canada. Yulia, you're a Canadian. Come up here and lead this, will you? So Yulia just says, I need the words.
With glowing hearts we see, rise up true, more strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, thank you, Sean and Bonnie, for teaching us tonight. I guess the note to self is that we'll put the song sheets on the table when I'm in charge of the song. We're most of us got. Well, some of us.
What happens to the American anthem?
Oh, no, we're honoring our Canadian guests today.
You don't do OSA, can you?
We could do the Star Spangled Banner, but we might exceed our singing capacity for one day. All right. Anyhow, do we have any, other than our guests, do we have our speakers, do we have any visiting Rotarians? And Nick Van Dorsville, you're our Sergeant at Arms.
Hi, my name is Blake Jones. I'm presently visiting from the Oak Harbor Rotary Club, but I recently moved here to Sedro Woolley, so maybe not too long I won't be a visitor anymore.
Don't make smile at me, Carl. I should just hand it to them, let them introduce themselves, right? I think there's fine going on back there.
So we have Sanju, close enough. Sanju Chowdhury. I'm going to butcher that.
He is now two past president from Pocatello, Idaho, with us today. They have a business that they're starting in Sedro Woolley here, and Xana Williams is going to be living in Sedro Woolley, and she raced in today, desperately wanting to become a member of the Sedro Woolley Rotary Club. So we're going to try and invite her before the day's up. So Xana Williams.
All right, any other news? Okay, wonderful. We have some announcements today. We have a board meeting next Tuesday, and it's the changing of the guard board meeting, thank goodness. We're going to start at 5:30, not 6, at the same location at Janagee, Murdoch, and Perry. And we'll try to do our regular board meeting stuff in 45 minutes. That'll be a challenge because we usually take 2 hours. And then it'll be the Mike Janagee show. We're looking at that. And I finally figured out Mike Janagee. I've got it figured out. We're going to be hugely successful next year thanks to his leadership. And here's how we're going to make it work. You only give Mike questions that can be resolved with a yes or no answer, and he will be on every time. So keep that in mind. No long-winded questions. All right. Let's see here. Blast from the past. We got some break. Posters. I hope all you business people have gotten them in your window. Paula, would you like to tell us about it, or you want me to just read from here? Come on up.
I'll just be the van.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So Blast from the Past starts tomorrow. It is an annual event, and what basically tomorrow is pretty simple. We have our vendors setting up and our art and crafts there, but also our merchants will be dressing up, and we've encouraged them to dress up in what is the inspired theme of 1969. And this poster is inspired from the Woodstock poster from 1969. That's why there's a little bird there. And unfortunately, we didn't want to make, go too far into their copyrighted stuff. So our bird's a little different, and we have a mountain instead of a guitar handle. But anyway, so if you see people out there this weekend, they should be looking in in tie-dye or whatever, or they could be an astronaut, because we do have a moon landing 50 years ago. And then on Saturday we have our Blast from the Past color run. That color run is sponsored by Marathon Petroleum and United General Hospital District, and that is a lot of fun. Carl was in it last year and managed to not get too much color on that.
If you have trouble with the tie-dye, just go to the color run.
You'll fit. Yeah. And so that takes place in the morning. David, who is normally the winner at the jump rope contest in the afternoon, has declined to participate this time because he's put other things on his agenda this weekend. But no, according to him, it's other commitments.
Weddings,
grad
parties.
Yeah, grad parties, all that stuff. Anyway, but you're encouraged to come out and take over David's trophy.
Mike Janke, I think, should do it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Mike.
Hey, Mike, that's a yes or no answer.
Then we have also Local 20 will be having a beer garden going on, and we have 4 bands on Saturday. So there's lots of music. Woolley Market also has some music going on, and
Sergeant at Arms. Are you ready to go?
Ready?
Do we want to do the raffle first?
We could do the raffle first, sure.
I don't know, it doesn't matter.
I think it's on, I left it off my schedule, so go ahead and do the raffle and then we'll put it
It's all
on.
over there and plug it in, I can't get down there.
Next number is 27.
How many more months?
Next number is 24.
Typically, I'd go for the sure thing, but I want to make it a little more exciting. What's that?
Farmer supply.
Farmer's supply, I don't know if we got anything or not.
We got it all done.
All right.
The last number, 60.
Hey, hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Winner chooses which group will pay $2.
Guys or gals?
That's the largest table, so we're still.
Guys or
Guys or gals?
Guys or gals?
Oh, that's the guy.
Guys or men? Guys pay $2.
Oh, you gotta think about it.
All right, Sergeant Barnes.
No, you don't get it.
I ran across a few people who didn't have their badges. Sorry. It's gonna cost you $1. Since you don't have yours, you can pick up. And who else? You want to help me pick up also? It's the first Thursday of the month, so if your birthday's in June, it'll be $2. Anniversaries are 3. And I am going to offer, I'll be the sergeant of arms all month. I will offer immunity tonight. And today only, not a very big group. So if you would like immunity, it's going to cost you $5 for the month.
Are you going to remember?
Is it the truth, Daryl? You're going to have to help me out.
We got to remember.
$5 immunity. All right. Next question. Did anyone not buy immunity?
I got about
We got 2. All right. Let's be quick then. This is only going to cost you 3, so you're going to see how this works. You do not have to pay $3. You can tell me who the lead glider pilot was on D-Day 75 years ago.
That's easy.
No. Can anybody tell me who the lead glider pilot was? It's not John Wayne. Again. That was the movie The Longest Day Was. His name was Jim Walwork, and he ended up living in Langley, BC, until he passed away a couple years ago. So, little trivia for you. That's it for Sergeant Barnes. Thanks for buying immunity. You got Happy Bucks. I'm sorry, Happy Bucks. Yes.
because my son's been in the Navy for the last 5 years as an aviation machinist mate down in New Orleans. And this time next week, I'll be in Orleans doing the road trip back with him. So he's coming home going to Western. I thought I'd do my handbooks this week because when I get back after the weeks-long drive with him, I'm not always happy. But I think it'll be good to have him back. So excited.
So, I'm happy to say I said it in this last and past. It is a fun event, great event, and I'll be there next year. The wedding of Emily Stendhal, the late Eric Stendel's daughter, is getting married, so I'm really excited to be there and to see some grand parties. Last night I had the opportunity to present the 37th annual George Seabrook Jr. Excellence Award to Pete Davis, a great kid who's going to be an elementary school educator. He's going to go to Western. To the school people, these kids are just amazing. All these kids are just wonderful. So it's so good to be at the school and see all the great things that they're doing. So congratulations to all your hard work, and I hope to play this tomorrow night.
Have a happy 20th David. I was just up at Fire Mountain. We have the hoop band going on up there. That's all our seniors. They're having a great time. I'm just glad we have a place like Fire Mountain for our seniors to go to have a little bit of fun before graduation. And here's tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Hopefully there will be some sun.
Hey, happy 5 for young police at Oak Ridge, Tennessee, Rotary last Thursday, and visit my family there, and I won't tell you how many years I have.
So here's it. Apparently, I'm in bed. Over here.
I got to attend the STEM ceremony down at Skagit Technical Center the other day. And if you remember, the Skagit STEM program started right here in Sedro Woolley. It was Sedro Woolley STEM. So in 2014, we got 0 scholarships in Skagit County from Washington STEM. And this year we got 56 scholarships for kids. And they all started right there in Woolley.
So I got some happy money. I had a kid, and that's cool. His name is Benaiah Clement Rump, and mom is healthy, baby's healthy. We're very excited. On another part, I'm going to throw some more money in. 2 days later, I actually finished a 75-day challenge. This 75-day challenge consisted of working out twice a day for at least 45 minutes each. One of them had to be outside. It was following a strict diet, no sugar, no alcohol. It was reading 10 pages of a self-improvement, business entrepreneurship type book, drinking a gallon of water, and taking a progress picture every single day for 75 days straight. I didn't cheat one time. I feel great. I lost 23 pounds. I'm a pretty skinny guy as it is. So that was great. I feel good, but I'm even happy that it's over.
I had a couple bucks there. My grandson Jack, 2 days ago, turned 20, so he's no longer a teenager. And his little sister Molly graduates from high school tonight.
You have to be there. Location to be able to say. Yes. So on the same note of the graduation, my excitement comes from the fact that I got to be back to the classroom after a number of years. I really love teaching about money management in Canada. And this spring, I got to teach the classroom again. Mr. Cornelius was teaching foundational financial algebra, they call it. Financial algebra class at Sedro Woolley High School. I got to participate in 3 of his classes and do the presentation on finance foundations of investing. And it was so much fun. It was so good to be back in the classroom. We played a lot of games. We got to see some parallels between water needs and how those grow, and
how the stock market behaves. So that was fun.
Any more? All right. Okay, well, thank you, Nick. It's time for early leavers, but we have a really good program today. You're really going to like it. And we probably have the more brains here from about knowing about Rotary than we've ever had in one spot. And between Sean and Bonnie, they know more about Rotary. So any question you have, whether it's regarding what they're going to talk about with these ruggedized computers, or just Rotary in general, I'm going to challenge you to just come up with it, see if you can stump them. They've been around a long time at the district level, doing a lot of things, and I wish I had an adequate introduction for them, but I'm just going to let them go, and we'll just see what they come up with. Now, the ARIC program is the African Ruggedized Education System. It's a computer, and here to tell you all about it, I'll lead off, I guess, with Sean Hogan. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks, Carl. It's always great. I think more Rotary clubs should do something like that. Challenge the members to humiliate the speaker. That's really, you've been president for what, a month? It's great to be back here. I used to be important when Doug Wood was important. He was president 2012-13. I was governor. And had a great time with the skateboard park opening, and been back to the club a couple times since. It's a wonderful pleasure for me to be invited back and see everybody. And I'm really excited to be telling you about this project that we're involved in. So next week, I'll have been a member of Rotary for 32 years. I've done lots of stuff in Rotary. To my mind, this is the most exciting Rotary project that I've ever seen. So I'm going to tell you about ARI's African Ruggedized Education System. It starts with Bonnie, my friend here. So Bonnie's a teacher from North Delta, British Columbia. And, she was married to Don Sutherland, not the actor, a different one.
Much better.
They took 6 months off and traveled the world from teaching. And when they got to Africa, they saw a huge need. And so they thought as teachers they could start helping out. So when they got back, they started shipping library books over. And from that grew into technology, computer, to medical equipment. Some of you may know of Rotary World Help. Bonnie's the president of that. They ship 40-foot containers of goods, stuff, front to back, top to bottom, anywhere in the world where there's a Rotary Club that can take them and use them for good. So these are the kinds of things that's growing from it. It all started with Bonnie and her husband and a few others seeing a need. And to me that brings back to what I love about Rotary, which is the power of one. The power of one person to make a huge difference. But with Rotary, it's the power of the many, the people who get behind that vision and that dream and promote it to build it. So, I got involved in 2009. I don't have many useful talents because I'm a lawyer. I am that most rare of creatures, I think. It's a lawyer that people sometimes like. Brock, is that true? Very rare. Anyway, so my hobby is computers. I love building. I've still got my first computer from 1976. I've got the first Pong Odyssey game that you played on the console. So I've always been involved in tech. And so when I heard they were building computer labs in Kenya, I said to Bonnie, I'd like to go. She'd taken a couple of other members from our club on a previous trip. So Bonnie said yes, so my wife Carol and I and our then 16-year-old daughter, Mary, went with us. Mary actually turned 17 while she was in Kenya, so just an incredible experience for us as a family as well. But this is what I would do when I first arrived in 2009. We'd set up these PCs, standard PCs with the big monitors, keyboards, mice, all of those kinds of things. And we'd set them up in schools, and we'd set them up in community libraries, things like that. Now the problem was, we went back afterwards, and here's what we'd find. None of it was working. So people had stolen parts, had stolen mice and keyboards, they'd done in stolen RAM and hard drives. They had plugged in a plug to connect to the internet and downloaded viruses. So it was really disappointing. I was getting to the point where, why should I spend my time and money to go to Africa to try and put these in if this is the result that's going to happen? So that's when we enter the next important person in this, and that's Mark Middle from the Rotary Club of Bellingham. Now, Mark was with IBM for over 30 years. He headed IBM in France for 10 years. Very knowledgeable guy. He retired to Bellingham, opened up a computer shop, and got involved in Rotary. And that's where we connected with him. Mark came with us in 2011 on a trip, and he saw the PCs that we've been setting up and the problems they had with it. And so he said there's got to be a better way to do this. So Mark's the one who invented the Aries Project. Okay? So what it is basically is it's a combination of 4 elements that make this a successful project. The first is the hardware. So you'll see there is the typical kind of setup we have. We provide a server. Bonnie, if you want to show the server. We have a server that contains a whole bunch of data that I'll get into in a minute. We have laptops. We've currently been supplying 10 laptops and 10 PCs. We're now going with 20 laptops because they're more power efficient, they run on batteries, etc. We supply a projector so the teachers can show it to the class. And we provide speakers as well as headphones. So the teacher can project on speakers, and the teacher can then allow the students to listen and do the material on their own. So hardware, very important. The second key element to the success of the project is the software. So what Mark did is he negotiated with a bunch of software vendors to provide data to us for free. So this is a service, so anything digital can go on the server. So as you can see from the illustration there, we have Khan Academy, which has hundreds and hundreds of videos from preschool to post-grad. So they watch everything from 1 + 1 = 2, to advanced calculus, to astronomy, to physics, to world religions. All of those things are available on a video course. It's an American from California who developed that system. We have a school version of Wikipedia. It's as if you're going on the internet, but you're not. You're talking to the box that's behind me, and that's all you're doing. And so all of the information on there is age appropriate and safe. There is no propaganda on there. There is no ISIS type of material. There's no porn. All of this stuff is perfectly safe for children in the community. We have TED Talks, thousands of TED Talks appears. We have 45,000 downloadable books. So anyone's got a wireless connection like a tablet or smartphone or anything like that can access this system and can download books, and most of the videos are downloadable as well. It's got Microsoft type Office programs, so Word and Excel and those kinds of things. It's got not only stuff for the students, but it's got stuff for the community. So it's got medical guides, it's got agricultural guides, villages without doctors, villages without dentists, helping farmers out in terms of things. So all of these things and much more. And later I'm going to show you what it looks like live as we connect it to the server. The third element to the success of this program is working with the teachers. Now imagine being a teacher in a very rural community. You're lucky if you've got a couple of books, and your method of teaching is rote method. You read to the students, you write it on a blackboard, you have them repeat it back. So this is a whole new way of interacting with the students. And a lot of the teachers are very concerned about losing control of the class or looking like they don't know enough. So we do workshops with the teachers. Bonnie and a group went back August of last year and spent 3 days
teaching 100
with 100 teachers. And while we were there this past January, we typically go in January for a couple of weeks, we had a weekend session where we had the 7 or 8 schools that we were providing, and we had teachers from the schools and the principals from the schools out for us to go through lessons. That's some of the ones that were there from our January session. But it's getting them comfortable with material. It's really, really cool in terms of how well the teachers accept it once they become comfortable. The last one is working with our partners. So we have 2 groups of partners. We have local partners like Rotary World Health that ships containers of goods over for us. And we have the international partners. So we work in central Kenya. I'll show you a bit on the plan, a map. The Opajeta Conservancy. And we also have Computers for Schools Kenya. Now in the picture you see here, there's 3 of our teammates from Africa. On the left at the end is Mondedo. He is our local member of our team that works with us. And on the right is Ian and Nicholas, and they are working for Opajeta, and Opajeta has them working with the schools. So when we come back here, they're still working there. And one of the nice things about the system is we can update the software with the USB, so Ian and Nicholas go around to the schools and update all of it. So here's what we did this past year to get the project going in a big way. We started our first one in 2015 with 1 school, Sweetwater Secondary School, and we did a couple of other smaller projects. So last year what we did is we had 4 Rotary clubs donate $5,000 US each They donated it through the Canadian Club, so Bellingham donated it to our club so that we could get advantage of the Canadian government's matching grants. So what we did is with donations from the clubs, with matching grants from the district, Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation I should say, and the government of Canada, we turned that $20,000 to $129,000 US. So you can imagine the scope that we have to do that kind of work. So there's where we're located, Kenya on the east coast of Africa. Right on the equator is where we go. So we land in Nairobi, and then we drive about 4 or 5 hours north, depending on road conditions and the traffic and such, to near Mount Kenya, right on the equator. It's the Laikipia area. The biggest city is called Nanyuki. We go from there about an hour from some dirt roads. We call it the Kenya Massage, and we get to our base camp, which is hosted by Alberta. This is really quite a deluxe camp. It's the conservancy, the game farm. So when we're staying in the house that we've got in the middle of the savannah, we're looking up at the water hole and seeing the elephants and the giraffes and the lions and all those things going by. Very, very cool. The first couple of years we stayed in places that I like to call the Kenya discomfort inns. Not our standards here. They instead of electric water for the central heating, they put the electric heaters on top of the shower head. One day I was taking a shower and I went to adjust the shower head. 220 going straight through me. So we're really happy with where we are. From there, we'll go in about 2 hours, typically, to these very remote rural schools. So that's a typical kind of setup. It's actually a better classroom than many because the walls are painted, the windows are larger and brighter. But that's the kind of setup you'll see. We take advantage of the PCs. Anything wireless can connect to the system. We can connect up to 50 devices to the area server. So the front couple rows had all of the laptops that we put in, and the back has the PCs.
Can I just,
Yeah.
you're going really quickly. I can
Okay.
see them glazing over. That little box runs on a battery. And it runs for 6+ hours, so it does basically an entire school day. Now, we keep it plugged in, and you can charge it on a generator, and so on. I'm not sure.
Do I use the mic?
No, I'm fine.
No, they can't hear. Get off.
I'm sure they can hear me. I'm a teacher.
Oh, we got 2 mics.
Well, they can hear you, but they may not care, so talk loud.
Loudly. So that will do the whole day. And it connects, it has a very, very broad radius. It goes at least 300 feet. It might even be 300 yards, I'm not quite sure. And it certainly connects with 40 to 50 devices. Now, if you have one laptop and you plug the Pico into that, the projector, you can project a magnificent video for a whole class, use up one out of the 40 to 50 devices. We've traditionally been using 10 desktops and 10 laptops. We prefer the laptops, but they like, for some reason, psychologically, to have some desktops as well. As long as they're Wi-Fi. You all have smartphones. If I had the antenna on this, I could hook all of your smartphones up, and you could download A Tale of Two Cities, or Mark Twain, or even the Bible on your smartphone. Unfortunately, I forgot that. But
so, just to go on a bit more, so this is the training of teachers that we did. It was really neat because a lot of teachers were very reluctant to get involved in technology. So one of the sessions we had was then doing a lesson plan. And so they got together as groups of the other teachers or students, and they had a fantastic time. Those were just wonderful. It was great to see how the teachers embrace it. Those are, again, some of the teachers that are going through their lesson plans. So I can tell you a couple stories about how this really impacts the people that are there. This is Judy. Judy is the teacher librarian at Sweetwater Secondary, the first school that we put the Aries Complex into. Judy, very smart. Mark is training her to become an IT tech on her own. But she was the one that we trusted to put in the first system. And this is about learning lessons. What we want is for clubs to take this and go to other countries. The material, as long as it's digital, can be adapted. So we've got some French materials, we've got some Spanish materials. For this one, we've got Kiswahili, local language materials. So Judy, we were learning some lessons with her. So what happened was we insisted that the school have a locked
box that they could store all of the computer equipment in, so it's safe. Unfortunately, the padlock was on the outside. One of the former students from the school broke in, snapped the padlock with a bar, and stole everything. Now, what Judy had done is she put tracking software on the laptops. So as soon as this guy went to town to an internet cafe and booted up the laptop, she called the police and they got all of the equipment back. So now we put all of the moths under a sleeve so they can't get it. This is a picture that I took at Sweetwater's in 2015. So we brought in the teachers and taught them the system, and then we brought in the students. I was watching this girl because she was really glum. Like she was just walking around with her head down, shoulder down, and didn't look happy at all and not engaged. And I noticed her while we were putting it up. And then suddenly she sits down with the teacher in front of a laptop. And I took the picture just as a smile broke out her face. And her whole body language changed. You could just see the excitement and the energy in her. So I went to the teacher afterwards and said, "What's her story?" He said that she was the smartest student in the whole school, and she was bored. There was nothing for her to learn. This opened up an entire world for her to learn from. Now, this next picture, that's a primary school. We are doing most of the libraries in primary schools and the computer systems in the secondary, although we can put them in primary. But these kids are super cool. The elementary school kids will high-five you and hug and play games and everything. Like secondary school students are just like the ones here. They're reserved, they're quiet, they know what's up. So I took that picture. But what I want to talk about is the secondary school that Mark and Bonnie installed. This was 2015. I wasn't there. So they went to a very remote school, and it was one of the 26,000 secondary schools. I thought it was
2,600.
Secondary schools in Kenya. So this school was near the bottom of that list. The system was installed 3 months later. This school was in the top 30, and every single one of their students passed the qualifications to allow them to go post-secondary. That's how you can change lives with this program. This is one of my favorite sayings. I got it from King Roars. You may never sit under the shade of the tree whose seed you planted. Because that's what we do in Rotary. We're not going to see the long-term effects of the programs that we do, but by the things we do, we change the lives of individuals and their families. We change the lives of entire communities. And as we see with our Polio Plus program, we're changing the lives of entire countries of the world. That's the effect that we have. So these are the seeds that we're planting with the area system. The other thing that I like about this picture, by the way, when I took this picture, I was in the back of a truck on a 2-hour drive along the dirt road, bouncing along. But the other thing I liked about this picture is it reminds me that because everything runs on batteries, if the power goes out, the power is very intermittent in Africa, they can still hold class under a tree in the middle of a field. That's how adaptable the system is. It's ruggedized because it's all solid parts, so it's drop resistance, it's heat resistance, it's safe from electrical surges, power surges we have there. So it's really been a really great system that Mark and Bonnie have developed. So that's a picture I took January 2018, just one of the classes we put in. You can see the enthusiasm from the teachers and the students on what we do. So typically what we do is we get you to log in. Unfortunately, we didn't bring the antenna along, so we can't, but I will show you from my laptop. So basically all you have to do is instead of logging onto the internet, you log on to Aries, which is the name of the Wi-Fi for the server. You open up a browser, so this can work in any wireless device with either Chrome or Edge or Safari or any server, and you can log on to Aries and use it. You won't be able to get that now because of the Wi-Fi. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what this program looks like. Can you get the speaker on, please? So I've opened this now to the Aries website. I've already logged on. What you'll see here is we have different sections. So this is the general education section. So Khan Academies, Wikipedia, an interactive world map. One of the teachers that we had that designed the lesson plan used that and went to the map, showed where Kenya was, showed where the equator was, where the students were, and then said how many countries lie along the equator. He was able to use the whole map to go around. So the teachers were just fascinated. You can imagine what the students would be. Scale of the Universe is a really neat program, fun one that shows the scale of a human in relation to things that are smaller or larger, so you go from atoms all the way to galaxies. TED Talks, there's some really neat TED Talks in here. So you can see, I'll come back to this in a few minutes. Quotes, dictionaries, those are the 45,000 downloadable books from the Gutenberg Project, as well as organized by subject matter, how to type, music, general science and education, and then we have programs that are specific for schools. Siberia is a number of videos. So let me set this one up for you. So let's say that you're a student in a school in Kenya, you're very remote in Kenya. So what you've got is maybe a couple of books, dark classroom, very few lights, you're doing everything by the board or by rote. School is free up to the 8th grade, but you have to afford a uniform, which is $10, and not everyone can afford that. So very, very basic levels. So then, and let's hope the music is working. Is the volume going on?
It's on.
Yeah, let me just check and see. That should work. So imagine being in that kind of school and you see this. Crank it up. Oops.
This actually was designed by a group of teachers out of Seattle. First time I showed this to kids in Africa, they just about fell off their chairs.
We have students here that won't get this quality video of material that are available on our public schools. And this is just the introductory video.
Introduction itself.
Okay, I went offline for some reason. Not sure what happened as to why I went off, but
Connection.
Yeah, connection failure. Anyway. For some reason it's gone offline. But that's the type of idea you see. There's so much more there. One of the things that's on there is electronic science kits. Like you can have a test, a virtual lab. They have virtual Bunsen burners. They have magnets. They have water, so you get refractions of light and all those kinds of things. So some just incredible tools in here. There's stuff specifically for the teachers as well. So for example, one of these we have in here is textbooks from the first grade to the senior grade. Every textbook for every grade, these are professional, high-quality textbooks. The teachers have access to a back section where they have the same textbooks with lessons plans and the answers. It's got a school tool where they can have the students go on to watch these videos, write exams, the teacher can mark them. It's got the ability for teachers to upload material. So if they created a Word document, they have a video that they downloaded off the internet, they can add it to the server so each of the students can do it. The teacher can lead the students on a projector and a screen, and then let the students do independent study afterwards if they're not getting any information. It is just an incredible education system. So, that said, I've got my blue screen of death. Anyone have any questions you'd like to ask? Yes?
Okay, everything we saw here is obviously in English. Do these kids speak English, or is everything translated into Swahili, or?
So the language of education in Kenya is English. It's a former British colony. They all have their individual tribal dialects, but the common language dialect is Swahili. So we can upload material in Swahili. So a lot of the stuff we've got is children's books in Swahili and other things like that. So yeah, as long as we can have anything digitized, we can put it up. One of the things we're doing, for example, that we talked about is having elders speak the native language, record it, and then save it to the server so that the language can be preserved for future generations as well.
One of the advantages of this system is that we built into it that you can add local content. So the teacher has a lot more control. Teachers, we found that in Kenya, they found things on the internet that they were interested in, they felt would be of use, and they were able to add them to the area system under local content that they control, and therefore add that. We're looking at doing this with First Nations as well in our northern territories, and we will add in, we will be able to to areas. And keep in mind that we'll do 40 to 50 devices at once. So it really is powerful. And as for updating, we built in protocols, again, so we just have to use a thumb drive to shove that in every now and then, and it updates everything. The core system is called Rachel, which is an acronym for ruggedized access, remote access, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. It's an acronym. And that's out of World Possible, which is a kind of a Hackers for Humanity group out of New York. And we use them, they are where our starting point. A lot of people end there. That was our starting point. The security video you saw, we have permission to use. We get permission to use, and by the way, that was developed by Seattle science teachers. And there's about 80 or 100 of those. Chemistry, physics, biology, they're fabulous.
So we've got the screen back again to sort of go through. So you can see some of the African storybook, that's the local stuff that we got up there. A lot of games, this is the primary section. Blocking games is another program. We've got the desktop application with office type material on it. Again, the adult information, and you can see how to use it. The adult information in here, you can see it's got both in English and in Swahili. So that's the stuff that...
Rachel is also available in Spanish and in French. So as a starting point, I'm actually going to the Philippines to, I've introduced this to some Rotarians from the Philippines who came this way. And I will be going there in February to introduce this to them, and we will be trying to put some of them. They want the English, but then they also want their language, which we are both mispronouncing all the time. What is it?
Dog.
Okay.
So basically what we're trying to do is we're encouraging Rotary clubs to think about this for projects that you're doing. So we're testing this out in the Laikipia region now with our Rotary Global Grant. We're able to really do intent, so we'll get some study results back that we can then use for clubs to take elsewhere. So if there's something that you either want to help support with one of the projects we're doing, or if you think it might fit in with something that you're doing, I think this is really, to me, one of those Rotary programs that will change the world with enough people behind it, with it going out to those rural communities where they just don't have the same opportunities and equalize the playing field.
I bet they want to know a little bit about cost.
Yeah.
We're actually building this ourselves. We are sourcing the material from China. When China's speaking to us, because Canadians aren't very popular with China right now. But at any rate, we're sourcing material from China and putting it together. Mark is loading the information, the actual system, onto the server. And the server is a good one because it is rugged and it built in UPS right away. You're not going to fry your stuff. And moreover, you flip it over and it says do not shake. This is not good. Not good enough.
What's the cost?
Okay, we're running around 300 to 400 for the server, and then adding sort of cheaper than Intel, and that's all loaded, by the way. And then we build a little bit in for training. Costs for the training. We are all free. We're really cheap, aren't we? And then, of course, you want laptops. We have been sourcing them from China for about 160 US per. Depends on where you're sending it to. We don't try to send it through Canada or the US. We try to send it directly to Kenya. And of course, we have some challenges with customs sometimes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so
But
good.
basically, with the whole setup, about $5,500.
Yeah, with Pico. So this is a Pico, 300 lumens. It's wonderful.
So
And it's also runs on battery.
Anyway, we're out of time. We've got to end the program there.
We got 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, so questions. Anyone got a question?
Yeah, so 5,500, is that for a classroom?
5,500 is the classroom. That will do the 20 laptops, the projector, the speaker, the headphones, and
the whole 9 yards.
The server.
have them put in wireless cards, so any device they've got will connect. The range is about 350 yards or something, so anyway, quite extensive. You can do
One per school is all you need.
yeah. Now the common room will block it sometimes, so if they want to do it in other classrooms, they have to put it up by the
Yeah.
so the signal will get up.
I had an agricultural teacher who said, I don't need it, and then he saw it, and he'd never touched a computer before. And then he said, you can't have one of these. He went and bought his own, and that problem cost him 3 months or 2 months salary for himself. But he was determined, and he was a great teacher anyway. Now everyone's enjoying it more. It's fun.
I think the deadest spot in the room is right here. So we have a problem with these, with the frequency on these microphones, and it's really quite frustrating. I think we're going to upgrade to digital so we get away from it all the way. But thank you, Sean, and thank you, Bonnie, for your presentation. We really appreciate it. It was fantastic. And I would absolutely like you to ask us on your next adventure. I think we can participate in something like this. And somewhere in here, I have a gift for you.
It's one of the microphones, isn't it?
There may be one in there, but I know there's more over here, so I'm going to go get a gift for you. Only a little bit off of here.
I think it's too marking.
All right. So we have a Rotary Club pen from the greatest Rotary Club in the universe for you. There you go. Thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
All right. And we really appreciate you coming. Just absolutely a wonderful program today. It's very inspiring. Thank you very much.
So just so I get it straight, this is the greatest club in the universe. That's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
You know, my brother Tim, he joined the Rotary Club at Anacortes, and they didn't have anything like that. So he started a new thing over there, and he's really pushing it hard, and it's almost catching on. They're the pinnacle of Rotary Clubs over at Anacortes, he says. You know, being copied is the highest form of compliment, right? So anyway, I think he's jealous of us. Anyway, with that, I want to thank our guests, Blake,